Hey everyone, happy 2026. I'm back with a new arena video, this time for the timeless format. Been playing best of one with my unbeatable Cubby deck. The combination in this deck is Strip Mine plus Badgermole Cub, or Natural Order plus a green creature to get usually a Troxa. Sometimes you get maybe an Ice Till Explorer, maybe a Titan of Industry, maybe a Primeval Titan, but most of the time it's a Troxa. I've been winning quite a lot with this list. We're, about 2 hours into the new format, and I am still over an 80% win rate over 28 games. This list is very powerful. Turns out that when you get to reuse your strip mine, it's a hard thing to beat. This deck is also good against other strip mine decks, so that's a bonus. Also good against the reanimator decks, good against any of the fair decks. Can struggle against some of the more degenerate combo decks, but you can still beat those decks because we are also doing very unfair things. It is the timeless format, so you should be doing something unfair, or at least playing Thoughtseize. Like, those are your options. Like, you do something super unfair or you play Thoughtseize, and some of the decks are doing both of that. So yeah, this list has been a lot of fun. I'm gonna play this list until I hit Mythic. Want to see where I come into the rankings at with this list. Just I'm going to be recording and posting the progress as we go, and yeah, I will be back with the list and to play a few games. Thanks for watching. All right, here's the most up-to-date list for Unbeatable Cubby for Best of One Timeless. We have Chromox. You have to play this because the format is so fast. I'm not a huge fan of having to play Chromox in this list, but because of how degenerate everything is, you just have to be as fast as possible. And turn one Cub on the play, earthbending a strip mine is really degenerate. So that's why we play Chromox. It also helps us cast turn two Natural Order, which is also a pretty good thing to do. Delighted Halfling is the best mana dork in the format. We play it so we can, we can force through a Grist, through Spell Pierce, Force of Negation, which can be good. We're playing Veil of Summer 4X because there's a ton of blue and black decks in the format, and this card is very strong. And then we're playing 4 Deathrite Shaman. This card is ridiculous. I think you should play it when it's legal to play. It works really well in this list. It also helps you grind through some of the more wonky games that happen after you trade resources and strip mine lands back and forth. A Deathrite Shaman can help you kind of stay in those games and provide a win condition. And then the reason to be playing this deck, in my opinion, Badgemole Cub, Earthbend to Strip Mine, GG. We're playing Once Upon a Time. This is just another broken magic card. Lets you find your strip mines, or whatever creature you may be looking for, but mostly you're looking for strip mines with this card. Obviously you want this in your opening hand and nowhere else, but sometimes you draw it in a place in the mid to late game where it can be helpful. 2 Scavenging Ooze. This is the flex spot. I currently like Scavenging Ooze. It's good against most of the format. It's a way to gain life. Incidental life gain is always a good thing. So you have a ton of green mana in this deck, and people are trying to use their graveyard, so Scavenging Ooze can prevent that and also grow big. Just another card in the deck in case the you know the natural order plan doesn't go you know as predicted. And then we're playing 4 endurance. This is effectively the green force of will in this format. It's very strong. Everybody is trying to reanimate big scary monsters out of the graveyard, and endurance prevents that. And then we're playing 2 grist. This is just another way to win the game. It's also a way to deal with creatures that will beat you, like Psychic Frog. So this is nice to have in the main deck. I started with 1 and then went up to 2 because I was impressed. So you can also get this off natural order because it's a creature when it's in the deck. So that's also worth noting. Ice Till Explorer is quickly becoming one of the new all-timers. This card is very strong. The fact that you can strip mine and immediately strip mine again just makes this card so ridiculous. It also helps find strip mines. If you don't have one, it can dig. Every time you play a fetch land, you get to look at 2 cards. By looking at 2 cards, milling 2 cards into your graveyard, and if you mill it a strip mine, that's exactly where Ice Till wants it. This card is excellent. Love it a lot. 10 out of 10 on the design of this card. Whoever designed this one, good job. Love this card. Not so much love on this design. I mean, I play it because it's broken, but the earth bending on strip mine is busted right in half. I think that obviously they're not thinking about some of the old cards, but strip mine is an arena card, and they should have maybe thought about how earthbending was working before they went to print with this one. But it is what it is, and we play it because we like to win. And then our big monsters are Primeval Titan, Titan of Industry, and Atraxa. Primeval Titan, sorry, I went through those really fast. Primeval Titan lets you go get a pair of strip mines usually. Titan Industry. This is just a big dude that also can blow up a Chrome Mox. Maybe you get lucky and blow up an Omniscient when your opponent didn't just kill you. The life gain is relevant. Making a 4/4 is super good. I don't frequently use the shield counter mode, but if there was nothing to destroy and my life wasn't in danger, I certainly would use it. And then the mana base is 1 Beside You, 3 Forest, an Overgrown Tomb, an Underground Mortuary, 1 Ghost Quarter. This is strip mine number 5. There are a couple decks that don't play basic lands, so you can sometimes sneak a victory off a Ghost Quarter. 4 strip mines. Best thing to be doing in this format is playing 4 strip mines, and I think this is the best way to abuse it. So yeah, and then 8 fetch lands, 4 Windswept Heath and 4 Wooded Foothills. And I think I want to make a change and add another Overgrown Tomb. And I want to do that because of other strip mines in the format. The black mana ability for Deathrite Shaman is super important, and I did have a game recently where I was not able to consistently activate that mode because my opponent took me off of both of my black sources. So I think a third one is a good idea. So I'm going to do that. So yeah, so that's the list. Let's play some games. All right, here we go. Time to play some unbeatable Cubby in Timeless Best of One. We have, I'm going to keep this. We have turn 2 Cub, Earthbend, Strip Mine, and we also have Endurance, which will be good if we are playing against Reanimator. This is a keep. It's a little slow, but it's a keep. Gonna lead on Underground Mortuary, Surveil, and then pass the turn. I would like to draw a natural order, so I'm gonna leave that on top of my leave it on top of my deck. Opponent plays Bloodstained Mire, immediately fetches. Let's see what they're up to. They play a Swamp. They're gonna Thoughtseize. Ooh, Dark Ritual. So I probably can just win on the spot with Endurance if they don't Thoughtseize me. Yeah, we're gonna get them. This is why we play Endurance in this deck. What did they put in there? Sire of Insanity. That's a spicy one. I would like to exile. I'm not going to need this Delighted Halfling. Get wrecked, opponent. Yeah. That's how this goes. This format is kind of silly. Yeah, I almost never mulligan a hand if it has Endurance. And a way to pitch it. It's so good. But he's trying to be degenerate, reanimate gamers, and we are the anti-reanimate gamer. All right, here we go. Another battle. I go first, and this hand is... I think this is fine. It's not great. We could use some help on our draw step, but we can play a Deathrite Shaman. Sometimes Ghost Quarter is really strong. I'm gonna keep. This is probably about as weak of a hand as I would keep, but since we're on the play, Deathrite Shaman on the play turn 1, it's hard to mulligan those hands. All right, opponent had Polluted Delta for Watery Grave. Fatal Push. All right, so we're playing against Frog. Well, Chrome Mox will be good next turn. I guess I'll just play a Ghost Quarter and pass. Here comes a Frog. They always have Frog on turn 2. Oh, they don't. That's good for me. All right, we're gonna play around Spell Pierce. All right, this Veil of Summer is no longer useful. Opponent successfully played around Veil of Summer. Yeah, they're looking at my... I guess I'll take a little bit of pain here. Fetch for an Overgrown Tomb and play an Ice-Till Explorer. Let's see if it gets countered. If it doesn't, I feel like I'm in a pretty good spot. Yes, let's go. We get to mill another card. Always looking for Strip Mine here. All right, my opponent is on the kill all my stuff plan, but we get to Primeval Titan them next turn, and hopefully that'll be very good. I feel like they would have countered Ice-Till Explorer if they were able to. So I'm just going to jam Primeval Titan next turn. See what happens. Yeah, so this hand turned out to be very good against my opponent's all removal draw. Natural Order would not have worked out. I wouldn't have had a spot to ever cast Natural Order with a creature on the board. Opponent deep in tank on this Brainstorm. You want to play a Frog? They have 5 cards. Very deep in tank. Okay. Now you get to see what I have. I don't like this play. I don't think this is a good play. Obviously do not know what's in their hand, but yeah, I don't like the sort of random surgical extraction on a card. We're going to get an Underground Mortuary, and then we're going to Surveil. Well, I don't want that, so We won't take that, and then we'll play this, and we'll jam a Titan. See if they have a counter spell here. Ah, they're in trouble. They are definitely in trouble. They're gonna kill my Primeval Titan too. Man, they just literally are removal gamer. Well, we do get to get double strip mine here, so if we can fade a threat this turn, we are in good shape. We're gonna hit their watery grave and their swamp. As of right now, I think we're going to hit. Maybe not. Maybe I take them off blue. I think I like taking them off blue here. All right. Do this first. We do this because we want to... Oh, my opponent is just going to play a Bowmaster in response. All right. Feeling pretty good about this. Resolves. He got me. You know what? I'll kill their swamp. They left it open. Alright, now I get to play Once Upon a Time, and I will leave the Ghost Corridor open. Can I cast this? No. Alright, so we just get a... That was a really bad Once Upon a Time. Oh, they got a Chrome Mox, so that's good for them. I think they play more than 2 basics? I imagine they do. Yeah, I'm not even gonna chance it because I don't want to give them an extra mana. What are they doing here? All right, Vein Ripper. So this is a Sorin deck, and they're attacking me. I mean, I'm gonna block the Bowmaster here. I don't see any reason not to. Okay, opponent. Maybe would have done that prior to letting me block, but you live your best life. That's a card. Deathrite Shaman is a good one. That's what I thought, opponent. Let's go. Badgemole Cub. All right. I think I am going to hit their island here. We'll see. Now we will see if we have more than 2 basic lands. So they don't have any more islands. That's very good for me. Okay, they have a Hex Mage. This deck is interesting. I will say it's interesting. The Hex Mage can beat down. Exile an instant. I would like to exile... What is the best one here? Probably the Fatal Push. Here's where I wish I had 2 Underground Mortuaries instead of 2 Overgrown Tombs, but that's okay. Opponent takes their draw. They beat me down for 2 here. Alright, pass, no blocks. Deathrite Shaman currently winning the race. We're going to go ahead and eat their Bitter Triumph. Go, Deathrite Shaman. Go get the Overgrown Tomb here. This is the last fetchable land in the pile. Yo. Alright. We usually don't get to this point in Timeless. Endurance is a good one. We're just going to pass the turn here. Nothing to see here, opponent. Hope they don't hit a land and play a Sorin. That's what I'm most afraid of right now. You gonna attack? Alright. Here I go. Play in my endurance. Nobody. Nobody's graveyard gets messed with here. Block. Block with my endurance. How do you like that, opponent? That's what I thought. See, that was one of those wonky games where we just powered through all of the removal. You know, stayed in the game with Deathrite Shaman. All right, let's do one more. One more game. One more game as we continue to ascend the ranks on the arena best of one ladder. Playing against Glenn. I get to go first. Oh man, I'm gonna keep this because I have a Once Upon a Time and a Badgemole Cub and a Ghost Quarter. This is fine. I have to do this now, unfortunately. I'm gonna take an Ice Tail Explorer here. Ice Tail Explorer will be very good if I don't just die here. I don't know. Maybe we'll play against the, oops all spells deck, and then Ghost Quarter will be very strong. Ooh, this might be it. What did we pitch? Oh yeah, we're definitely hitting this. I don't think they have basic lands in this deck. They have to take my Badgemole Cub here if they're afraid of me machine gunning down their lands. Oh, they're not. Interesting. They're gonna grief me again? Alright, I'm going for it. I'm totally going for it with the Cubby. Alright, you get to draw some cards. Draw some cards. Alright, let's see. Let's see if you have your deck built poorly, opponent. I'm willing to find out. Do you have basic lands in your pile? That's what I thought. They should have taken Badgemole Cub. All right, so Ghost Quarter showing its value in this very degenerate, greedy format. Currently working our way up the diamond. Just fired off 3 in a row there. I think that's a good showcase of the deck. I'll be back later. Maybe once I'm diamond, I'll get some more games in. But thanks for watching. All right, we're back. We have made it to diamond. We had a minor hiccup along the way. I hit a spot where I lost 6 or 7 in a row. So I made some adjustments to the deck, and we're back in tip-top fighting shape. I will pull up the most recent list. We'll talk about it, and then I'll play a couple games, and we'll take it from there. All right, here is the diamond list. As you can see, there's some changes that have happened. I have put the Veil of Summers into the sideboard. I'll go over what I'm thinking for the sideboard in case this becomes a best of 3 deck here in a bit. But we put Thoughtseizes in for Veil of Summers, and then I shaved 2 Chrome Moxes and added 2 Crop Rotations and 2 Ancient Tombs. I had too many games where I ended up with multiple Chrome Moxes that did literal nothing. So to help alleviate that, I've cut the amount of Chrome Moxes in this deck down to 2. I still like Chrome Mox because this format is so fast, and this helps you catch up in games where you might have not otherwise been able to catch up. So I still think a couple Chrome Mox is fine. Thoughtseize has been great. I kept losing to the Show and Tell deck. I added some Thoughtseizes, and now I can beat that deck pretty consistently. This card is incredible. As I mentioned early in this video, I should have just taken my own advice. I was trying to be fancy with Veil of Summer, but there's way more utility to Thoughtseize in the main deck than there is to Veil of Summer. Crop Rotation gives us additional strip mines. Also can go get an Ancient Tune to sort of kind of ramp us into maybe an Ice Till or a Natural Order. I also removed the Ghost Quarter since I added Crop Rotation. I literally did not know Crop Rotation was on Arena, or this would have been in the original version. So that was just on me for not scouring through all of the cards that are available. But Crop Rotation is real nice in this deck. And then the Halflings and the Death Rights have earned their place in the starting roster. I will note that there are times where you need double green, and Delighted Halfling can't help with that when you're trying to power out an Ice Tail Explorer or a Natural Order. But this card is still very good and worth playing. It doesn't die to Bowmaster. It blocks Ocelot Prides and Ragavans. It's a really good card. It also helps you, you know, just power out a Grist through Force of Negation or Spell Pierce, which is really nice. I also added another Ice Till Explorer because every time I cast it, I'm just like, this card is the best thing ever. So I'm now up to 3 of these. And then I took out the Primeval Titan and just added another Ice Till. There are very, very few spots where Primeval Titan is better than Ice Till. So I'm just going to play the cheaper, more powerful card. And then the natural order targets still remain Titan of Industry and Atraxa. That is the list. Again, I had a bit of a stumble with one of the previous iterations of this deck where I lost a bunch of games in a row. So I updated the list, and now we're back, you know, close to 80% win rate with this list as we're fighting into diamonds. Let's look at the sideboard cards I think I want in the sideboard if I were to play this in best of 3. Definitely Duresses for all of the, you know, combo decks in the format. Duresses is just as good as Thoughtseize in those battles. So having extra copies of Hand Disruption is very powerful. Veil of Summer for all the blue matchups and for the Grief matchup, which is also just a really good matchup for this deck already, so I don't even know if Veil is necessary. Orcish Bowmaster for the energy matchup. This card is very good at killing Ocelot Prides and Ragavans. It also can be good against decks that may be looking to draw a bunch of cards. And then Ooze in the sideboard. Primeval Titan in the sideboard right now, but this is likely going to get cut for another card. I just don't know what yet. And then Progenitus. There are a handful of control decks in the format that will struggle against this card, so I think having 1 copy in the sideboard is fine. I could see this being replacing Titan of Industry in some matchups, so that's what I have right now. I'm going to continue to think about the sideboard and add cards into what I am considering the maybe sideboard at this point. But yeah, this is the most updated list. This is the Diamond list. Let's play a couple games in Diamond and see what happens. All right, we're back for some Diamond gaming against the Platinum Gamer. This hand's very good. I will keep it. Opponent on the mulligan. All right, we're going to lead on Once Upon a Time. We're going to take a Grist. I'm going to lead on Overgrown Tomb. And I think I want a Thoughtseize here. What's my opponent up to? I guess I just take their Sorin. Their hand does nothing without a Sorin. Yeah. Let's see if they drew anything good. They didn't, so that's really good for me. All right, let's play both of my idiots, Delighted Halfling and Deathroot Shaman. I'll just get a forest this time. Play a Delighted Halfling and a Deathroot Shaman. All right, feeling really good here. Just need to fade 1 more draw. Let's see if they do anything here. They don't. So this is very good. Very good for me and very bad for the opponent. I think I want to do this and just take some damage like this. I want to hold up Deathroot Shaman. I'm not gonna strip mine. Crop rotation into strip mine. They just have so much mana here. My plan is end step Once Upon a Time if I don't have to use Deathright Shaman. Definitely not attacking. Opponent plays Bright Climb Pathway. Now with 3 mana. 5 mana with Dark Ritual. 6 with Chrome Mox. Still has nothing. I will exile the Wooded Foothills with Deathrite Shaman, add a green. If my opponent can somehow instant speed kill me here. Oh, they have March of Wretched Sorrow for 4. Sure. You got a grist. I will add green. And I will play Once Upon a Time. And I'll get a Strip Mine. And now I will... Alright. So we drew Natural Order. And we're going to Natural Order. I'm missing out on a point of damage, but it doesn't matter. My opponent is just dead here. They're just dead here. We're going to Strip Mine them off of black mana. I'm going to exile a land. We're going to add green. We're going to crop rotation away our Ancient Tomb. I don't need that anymore. And we are going to Strip Mine their last land. I imagine my opponent will concede after drawing a card. Hit him for 1. I should have hit him for 2 there, but I was just so excited about nuking their lands. My opponent is going to battle on, so good on them. Strip Mine their land here. And then I'll play Wooded Foothills so I can get a Surveil at the end of turn. Bash for 3 with Ice Till and Delighted Halfling, leaving up Deathrite Shaman. I guess they can hit Dark Ritual Sorin. I don't even know if that would win them the game. It would definitely put them in a better spot. I'll keep a Thoughtseize here. Exile their March of Wretched Sorrow with Deathrite Shaman, deal them 2. Thoughtseize my opponent. I'll just take your Vampire Cleric, and then I will play a Wooded Foothills and Underground Mortuary, and then we will get rid of this Windswept Heath off the top, and then we'll battle for 3 again. We have our opponent in the squeeze here. They're playing on. Good on them for fighting the good fight. I would have conceded a long time ago. Well, they're just going to imprint a Chrome Mox with their land. That is a good way to avoid your land getting strip mined. You just put it under Chrome Mox. I have another land here, right? Yeah. I have at least a forest and an Overgrown Tomb. We'll get the Overgrown Tomb. Enters tapped. Ice Till popping off. We will place double Strip Mine here. And we'll battle for 3. I guess they can still triple top deck out of this. It's going to be hard with Deathrite Shaman holding down the graveyard. All right, they're playing a land. All right, I'll Strip Mine it. And then I will drain them for 2 with Deathrite Shaman. Oh, we drew an Endurance. That's a good one. Play 2 more Strip Mines. And pass the turn. My opponent is just making me kill them. My turn. Not even going to play Endurance here. I mean, you can battle to the bitter end. That is your liberty to do so. I would have conceded a while ago. I just don't have that. I don't have that dog in me. All right, back for another diamond battle. I go first, and I have a good hand. This is what I would consider a good hand. We have a turn 1 Delighted Halfling off of Windswept Heath getting Overgrown Tomb. We have Endurance to check any graveyard shenanigans, and then we have Strip Mine on the following turn. I'm going to go ahead and let my opponent see my hand. They're probably going to cry. They can take an Endurance here or a Crop Rotation. Depends on what is in their hand. Opponent takes my Crop Rotation, so they're afraid of double Strip Mine, which makes sense. It's probably best to get an Endurance out of my hand here, because if they don't, I'm just going to play my land and pass the turn. Well, that's bad for my opponent, and it's very good for me. I'm not attacking here because I want to hold up Endurance. I'm going to let this resolve. My opponent will take one of my Endurances, and they will not do anything. Okay. I think I'm also going to pass here. All right. I don't want to do anything. I guess I will just attack. Delighted Halfling not being able to tap for green is really a pain in the ass right now. I will cast this Once Upon a Time. I would like to find a green source here. Green source would be very good. I unfortunately cannot take the Badgemole Cub, but I will play a Windswept Heath and bash for 1. Definitely not playing the other Delighted Halfling here, because I need that for my Endurance. And then next turn I will cast Natural Order, likely getting a Troxa. They can grief me again. I'm going to let this resolve because I think they have to take Natural Order here. They did have to take their Natural Order. I'm going to go get Underground Mortuary. I'd like to find some action here. It's got to be good enough. All right, I'll just battle here. Delighted Halfling beats. Pass the turn. Not doing anything. My opponent is almost out of griefs now. All right, they're going to do something. Finally. They're finally going to do something. They got an island and a ponder. All right, you got it. Okay, so I'm going to lead with Once Upon a Time here. I am in no hurry. This is probably insane for me. Yep, that's what I thought. Ice Till Explorer. Putting my opponent in the squeeze. All right, one more diamond battle against another platinum gamer. This hand is fine. It's going to get whooped on by turn 1 reanimation, but otherwise feeling pretty good. Turn 1 Chalice would also be pretty brutal here. Oh, they're going to Chalice for 0 and for 1. Okay. Well, that's exceptionally bad for me. I still get to cast Once Upon a Time because it's converted mana cost 2. I think I'll just take another Strip Mine here. and we will play the game of strip mine, and hope it's good enough. My opponent can't play their own chrome moxes now. That is a gemstone cavern. I don't think I care about a gemstone cavern, so I would like to... They got a strip mine. Okay. So I will just take my turn here. That was the worst possible draw. I'll just play another Wooded Foothills, pass the turn. All right, they're going to have something here. Oh, they don't. Well, that's very good for me. That is very good that they do not have anything. Drawing a Chrome Mox is pretty brutal. Kind of maybe want to take them off of their red source here. Yeah. I think this is good. They didn't have anything for 3 mana with red, so we're going to continue to just pass. These draws have been awful. Card a Chrome Mox. All right, we're dead. They have to play something here. The One Ring. Okay. I'll concede to that. I'll play one more. You're going to lose almost every game when your opponent leads on the play Chalice on 0, Chalice on 1. I did not have fun. I don't think anybody has fun when you go Chalice on 0, Chalice on 1. Not even the person who's casting it. And this is coming from somebody who has cast a lot of Chalice of the Voids. It's not fun for anybody. Strip Mine's not very fun for anybody either, but here we are. All right, one more diamond battle against a platinum gamer. I've never been so happy to see my opponent cast the Thoughtseize. I should have realized they weren't energy when they didn't have Luris. So we're just going to lead with Strip Mine. Oh, yeah, we still just lead with Strip Mine here. Okay. They just played Windswept Heath and passed. So I'm going to play Windswept Heath and pass as well. They have a Cradle and a Chrome Mox. All right. Something big is happening here. What do they got under the Chrome Mox? A Thoughtseize. Who is this guy? I've never seen this card before in my life, so give me a second while I read this. Okay. This is a good way to fight against... a good way to fight against Strip Mine. Okay. I guess I get an Underground Mortuary here. Maybe I want that. Actually, I think I want this because animate my Underground Mortuary and pass the turn. What do they have? They just have... Yeah, this is fine. I'm gonna let this Thoughtseize resolve. See what my opponent does here. If they attack me with both, I'm going to win this game. Okay. I am now feeling very good about my chances. I was feeling very terrible about my chances prior to that. I'm going to need a Chrome Mox. Okay. Oh no, that'll do it. Attack with both here. They just peeled another Reclaimer. Alright. They go to 9. They're going to strip mine. Which one they strip mining? It doesn't matter which one they hit here. Alright. I'm going to need to peel very well here. Oh, I don't have another mortuary, so I'll just play a strip mine. Wow, my opponent... No, I can't attack here. I have to block with the cub. Okay. Have to block with the cub here. Yeah, you got it. Well, that actually helps me, so I need to find a natural order. That's what I needed. Forest. I hope I don't hit an Atroxa here. Does Titan do it here? I don't think so. Well, actually it kind of does do it here, huh? Titan kind of does it. So Atroxa is also just going to be very good, though. All right, it's just got to be Atroxa. Yeah, natural order, forest, crop rotation, Badgemole Cub. Let's go. Okay, my opponent got a Dark Depths with their Elvish Reclaimer, and then I guess they were hoping to draw a Thespian stage there. All right, so we just go boom, boom, Badgemole Cub on the strip mine. Next, no attack, end turn. I can't believe we're going to win this game. Pass the turn. If they do anything with this Elvish Reclaimer, I'm going to immediately kill their Dark Depths. What do they have here? All right, so I just add green, and play an Endurance in response to this. Well, we drew the card we were going to natural order for, but I think this is fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Natural order. I think we want to grist. Play this. Vampire Hexmage, huh? This is fine. This is also fine. Yeah, you got a strip mine and a forest. My turn. Enters tapped. I just have to fade Dark Depths here. Yeah, even if they do this on their turn now, I just win with my grist. Excuse you. I think they have to Hexmage my grist here. Thespian stage. I mean, I'll do it. I'll try to. I'll bait them here. We're gonna crop rotate and get another strip mine here, but my opponent had to Vampire Hexmage my grist. But because they didn't do that, I'm gonna win and just do this so in case they can haste the 2020. All right. I would like to kill you. All right, got a little salty there in that battle, but we still managed to pull it out. Sometimes your opponents will maybe not make the most optimal plays, and then their deck will cough up the goods. I've definitely been in that spot myself, where I've maybe made a bad play, and then my deck was like, well, we got you anyway, buddy. So that's almost what happened in this one for my opponent, but we shook it off and kept on battling. And yeah, Badgemole Cub, very, very strong magic card. I liked what my opponent's deck was up to in the last battle there as well. Kind of a similar style deck, but they are playing the Dark Depths Thespian stage combo, which I don't think is quite fast enough for this format. And there's just too many strip mines in the format as well to effectively pull off Merit Lage. So, all right, that's going to do it for Diamond Battles. I'll be back when we're closing in on our Mythic ranking. Thanks for watching. All right. Well, I made it to Mythic. And I have a couple confessions. First confession is I did not make it to Mythic with unbeatable timeless Cubby, and there are two reasons why. The first reason is I started getting pretty burnout playing best of one timeless. I hit a wall, win rate dropped to like 60%. So I took a break and I stumbled upon the arena information for January and realized that the play-in and qualifier for January is Pioneer. I like playing high stakes Pioneer, so I decided to pivot to Pioneer once I was at about Diamond 2. Good news though, we still smashed opponents with Cubby, and I'm going to pull up the two decks that I've been playing and will likely play during the qualifier weekend. All right, the two decks that I have been battling in Pioneer with are Cub Elves and Cub Company. Cub Company is fairly stock at this point. The hive mind has spoken, and this is the best main deck configuration, give or take +1 Elspeth, -1 Ouroboros. This deck is looking to leverage turn 1 elf into a powerful 3-mana play. On the play, your best bet is usually Archon, but Enduring Innocence is also pretty nice. And then your interactive 3-drop is Skyclave Apparition. And of course, the namesake of the deck, Collected Company. I love casting Collected Company. The only time I don't like casting Collected Company is when it doesn't hit 2 creatures, which happens some of the time. A small percentage of the time, but it does happen, and it always feels awful. Most of the time you cast this and just smash your opponents. And then the new hotness for this deck is Ouroboros and Badgermole Cub. Both are very strong. Turn 1 Elf into turn 2 Badgermole Cub plus Thalia is a very strong play on turn 2 this deck is capable of. It also just helps you generate an unfair advantage if it's not dealt with, because you end up getting double the amount of mana your opponent, maybe more. Yeah, but this is the stock Cub Company list that has been doing very well on Magic Online. I did very well with this list playing into Mythic. I have a 72% win rate with this list, but this is not the list that I actually ascended into Mythic with. The list that I ascended into Mythic with is Cub Elves. I have yet to see someone else play Cub Elves in High Diamond or Mythic on Arena. This is a known quantity. I've played many tournaments in Modern and Pioneer with Elves. The deck is very strong, and it recently benefited from Badgermole Cub and Ouroboros. This list is also looking to leverage Lawn of War Elves, Elvish Mystic, also Jaspera Sentinel into powerful elves. It used to be that you wanted Lawn of War Elves into Elvish Archdruid, but now you can just have Lawn of War Elves into Badgermole Cub, and it does effectively the same thing. Honestly, Badgermole Cub is sort of like the Pioneer's version of Priest of Titania, and that card's very strong. It's no secret that Badgermole Cub is just a fucked up magic card, but I will continue to play it until we are not allowed to play it. The interactive spell in this list is Werefox Bodyguard. really like this card. Being able to play on your opponent's turn is something that previous versions of Elves wasn't the best at. And ever since Werefox Bodyguard has been on the scene, it's been much better. Worth noting that this card cannot take out Light Paws, the Boggles deck of the format. Worth noting that this will not exile that card because it is a Fox. It hits just about everything else you want it to hit in the format. Obviously, Elvish Archdruid has been in the list since Elves has been a thing. This is a Lord plus a ramp. And another newer addition to this list is Tyvar, the Pummeler. This is very similar to Azuri Renegade Leader, for those of you who are OG Elves players. If you untap with Tyvar, you likely win on the spot. And then a pair of Court of Callings to go with a playset of Collected Company, and 2 of the Plantworm Daddy. I could see maybe playing 3 and shaving a Sentinel, but I really like having 2 Sentinels in this list. It blocks a lot of creatures that just kill you. It can block a Phoenix. It can block a Slick Shot Show Off, which are very popular creatures in this format. So yeah, this is the list that I ascended into Mythic with. The mana base is pretty buttery. You never have mana issues with this deck. One of the pluses over Cub Company is that this mana is just better. You will run into issues with Cub Company where you need double white and you don't have it. It doesn't happen a lot, but it does come up. And also, this deck just goes over the top of all the other creature decks in the format, including Cub Company. So, I don't know. Maybe this is the list that I'm going to battle in the Pioneer Qualifier weekend. Maybe I'll make a video of my battles. But yeah, I really appreciate you watching. I will maybe do videos on a semi-frequent basis if it seems like there is enough interest in these sort of videos. I play all the formats on Arena. I play all the formats in paper, more so vintage, value vintage in recent months, but am willing to play any format that is high stakes or for stakes. Also like drafting. So I don't know. We'll see. Maybe this will kickstart a new hobby adventure for 2026. But I really do appreciate you watching this, and I hope that you enjoy beating up your opponents with some Badgemole Cubs. Take it easy.